is currently the safest. That doesn't mean it's completely lacking danger.
Okay, how you guys like that intro? I thought I worked on it for a little bit, just put it out. Anyways, I don't know, working on it. You're here because I made a horror animation. How did I do it? How does one person make a little short horror animation, make like it kind of feel like a movie? How can you make your own horror animation and make it feel like an own, like, cool movie, you know? So in today's video, I'm gonna bring you through all the steps of how I made my horror animation and how you can make one too. And heck, if you're just here to just watch and have fun, go ahead, sit back and get some snacks and enjoy the video. Now, let me be clear. Don't expect perfection the first time you make your animation. You know, there's hundreds of animations out there on YouTube, you know, the web space, and they can be, you know, challenging and tough to kind of recreate into your own style or to even just work on. So start small, you know, make it manageable. I'll show you how I make mine manageable and how I don't get, you know, stressed out and start banging my head into a wall and freaking out or overworking myself, which happens a lot in all artists. But how you can kind of space these things out and really start getting, you know, some little small animations out there and get your name out there. The main planning is, what is the animation going to be about? And I so happened to land it on horror. Not just any horror, but a video game that I used to play, which was Pressure. I've made a lot of Pressure videos on this channel, and Pressure is a Roblox game where you go through multiple doors and rooms, experiencing lots of different horrifying things. So I wanted to kind of capture the idea of Pressure where you're going through different rooms, or just a room, and something creepy happens. As simple as that. So I start with storyboarding. Okay, so I actually use this program called Melanote right here, Melanote. It's a free program, and you have like 100 cards you can use until like you run out, I think. Yeah, until like space comes out. This is what I have right now. I made scenes and I took pictures of them, which was here, you know, the elevator opening where everything's being explained, where, like, you know, the guy's talking on the radio and everything like that, pressing a button to open up the door, then walking through the creepy hallway, some creepy visuals, coming down the hallway, you know, she goes to the locker, closes himself, and creepy stuff happens, monster comes to the door, monster screams, end. Period. That's all I had for the very, very, very start. This explanation of what I want. Now, you might wonder, why is he blurring some things? I want to keep the monster secret for now, but this is a great way, if you want to storyboard it or write it down, this is a great way to do it. Great way to lay it out, make it simple story. It tells you, you know, this introduces you, then it goes through this kind of creepy hallway, you know, hiding creepiness, you know, scary stuff, then big jump scare at the end. Simple, effective. I know I've been yapping a lot through this entire video, but this is all very important stuff to know at the very beginning. Just so you guys get an idea of, like, you know, you gotta make sure you plan a good amount. And if you don't like planning, then don't do it. But if it stresses you out in the end, you're like, maybe I should plan. I don't know. It's all about figuring these things out and trial and error. But the program that I use for animating is Blender. There are a lot of good videos out there for Blender, and a lot of good programs out there, not just Blender. There's Krita, there's Unreal Engine if you want to not get crazy into animating. I don't know how well their animation is. There's Adobe Animate. So there's a lot of different programs ranging in price wise. Blender's free, so I have to go with that because it's a great program. So I get started with creating the scene and putting the character in the environment and start, blocking out the animation. If you've been watching the video, you can see that I have been working on this hand animation where this person is pulling down the lever to open up the door on their left. They're actually in an elevator going into the deep dark sea, and I really want to show that at the very beginning. So you'll see like jellyfish passing the window later. I'll probably animate that later, and whole different little things and details that I really want to just show at the beginning so that the viewer understands that they're underwater. You really want to make the viewer understand where they are and what is kind of happening, unless you want to keep it in some type of mystery. Okay, so here you can see that I'm messing around with the animation graph, which there are some really excellent YouTube videos out there to teach you what the animation graph is and how to use them, but I, make it simple, and I use a lot of procedural, like noise, where it changes the graph and it moves it a lot. That's how I made him walk a bunch without actually needing to move him up and down. It's so you don't have to do that constantly. Anywho, you should look up videos if you ever want to get into that. But about the animation, I actually blocked it all out. First, the environment, and then I started to animate because I wanted to know how the character would move around the environment, how big it was, what would happen, and you get a really good understanding of where everything is in space, and you can really animate off that. So in the back here, you can see that I'm actually putting the creature in, which is Pandemonium from Pressure. He's a monster that screams down the hallway, and he can rip your vent open and pretty much slam himself into the vent until you come out. It's very intense. The gameplay is super fun. It's a little mini game and everything like that. Very, very good. If you want one of your characters or a creature to come into one of your animations, I suggest making an ideas board. Like here, I have plenty of idea boards from all different things that I've made from different genres and videos and stuff like that, which you can all watch on the channel here. And there's just kind of things that I throw in, art that I might like of the character, or things that I want on the character and stuff like that. And then I mix them all together into making one coherent. I mix it all in to make one character. Cohesive? Yes. I speak English, I swear. So I was gonna talk about this entire ocean part, but pretty much environment detail. I'm gonna just summarize it in environment detail. If you want to capture your environment very closely, you have to probably look up references or ideas about what your environment might look like. And here you can actually see that I was talking about it. That's why there's not a lot of movement. I'm trying to figure out what is the best look on the window, and is it good to have the fog there to make it more like a deep ocean. But the reality is that deep in the ocean, you're not going to get any light. It's just black and dark. So you have to really make sure that you're specific about your environment detail to tell the viewer where are they in space, what's going on, what is happening, all of that. as you can see here, I actually am now making the character for our animation. Our main character, I guess. There's the guy outside the window, the monster that coming down the hallway, and then there's our main character. I'm actually putting on the jumpsuit for him, because in the original game, they all wear jumpsuits, and if you're a fan of the game, you're gonna like this little detail. I made sure that it's the Pandemonium jumpsuit that I'm using, not just a normal jumpsuit. The Pandemonium one, so that makes sense, you know, he's fighting against the Pandemonium, so why not make the Pandemonium jumpsuit? Because they're specialized jumpsuits. But I added little details of clothing and coloring and the Urban Shade symbol, which is the company that the games are based around or whatever. Well, it's a company in the game, horror company like SCP. The camera is never going to see a certain angle of your character. In my opinion, there's not a need to make that angle, but this doesn't really transfer to 2D very well. So I would suggest 2D make a full like roundabout, I think, character sheet. And for 3D, if they're never going to see it, why make it? So I didn't actually add shoes to this character, which is kind of funny. He's just walking around barefoot. Okay, we're kind of going to the end of this video. We're getting close to the line. I feel like we're almost there. Maybe, I don't know. Might edit a little bit more. But here you can actually see that I'm messing with the numbers on the right of the door. The numbers actually matter in the video game because the numbers, like how far you are, like if you're on door 10, it's unlikely to anything happen to compared to door 50, which like there's a giant boss battle. So the more you progress, you know, different stuff happens. So apparently I actually put it on door 4, you know, just trying it out. But Pandemonium, which is the creature, can only spawn after door 19. So I made it door 20 later just to add that little detail. And this guy's very unlucky that it immediately spawned after. Like, oof. But here I'm putting in like the effects and making sure that everything looks good with the lighting and make sure that it, you know, prepare it for rendering, because rendering is extremely important in all softwares. For 3D animation, you don't want a blurry image or a noisy image, which I'll put some examples up here, because no one can tell what's going on. No one, you know, it doesn't look good, it doesn't look professional. So it's a hard kind of balance of what you want and, you know, what looks good, and, you know, we're fighting against the computer of like time, money, resources, because rendering takes hours upon hours. I've had to re-render these scenes and fix them up multiple times before you see this video, you know, like it's crazy. And sometimes that you're gonna have to do that potentially, and that's okay. Just stay determined and keep on doing it, you know, keep on pushing through it, because you will, if the animation's worth everyone's time, it will, you know, blow up and impress people. Okay, so it's been a pain these past couple days to render all of this stuff, but I wanted to talk about editing a little bit, because you're gonna see it visually. I'm gonna edit and all the stuff like that, but I want to kind of talk to you. I got these really cool like terminal visuals, you know, and you'll see here. I got them off Envato. Very good plugins. But I wanted to add more, so I changed it up, and I actually went to the video that you're gonna see here, thought it was really like I added a lot of this like detail that you're gonna see. Also, don't question why there's an SCP foundation. It's because of reasons. Just you can theorize it why there might be an SCP location here, and then why it isn't in the final. I wonder. A lot of this intro is very quiet. It is all dependent on the sound and visuals. Little details. It's very important in sound design to really focus on that. Visuals and sound design should both work together very nicely, and they should blend perfectly if you really are good at that. It takes a lot of effort, but I'm gonna probably change a lot of this stuff. I haven't added, I have to, edit all of this footage, so you'll see that. So I'm actually going to edit this, but right when he comes in, I want it to like have like intense heartbeat and then slow heartbeat. So we have like intense right here. And it's going to transition into slower. And then into really slow. But all of them together, because I just put them in, sound kind of insane. Oh my god. So, if your heart sounds like that, I think you need to go to the doctor. I think if your heart sounds like an entire musical happening inside of your body, you need to go to the doctor. Okay, let's start editing this. My god. Oh my god. So I want it to happen right as he rips the door. Right there, I think is probably pretty good. Okay. And then what I want before you guys, or whatever, is he's going to scream and then a bunch of glitches is going to happen. And it's all going to be like was just screaming, and then it's gonna cut to this again. Okay, so I think that's pretty much going to be it. If you guys want to see the animation, I'm not showing it here because I know that some people don't like to. They have to like watch an entire 20-minute video and then get like a little animation at the end, and some people don't like that. So if you want to go watch the animation, here it is. Thank you guys and girls so much for watching and for supporting me, and if you made it through this entire video, props to you. It's sometimes very hard, I guess. I don't know. Some people don't want to sit down and watch videos anymore, but thank you so much. I hope you learned something today, and if you didn't, tell me about it. If you did, tell me about it. Anyways, you guys have a great night, afternoon, or morning. Peace out.